Unsponsored review. Here's my order. I got the viral SoftMotion straight legs. I don't think that these pants are worth $70. Pretty stretchy. They have a chokehold on so many people. We're getting into yet another Oner Active video today. This one I just feel is overdue. This collection came out so long ago. I'm just so late to the hype train. I ended up waiting nearly a year, could be more honestly, since it's come out, I'm not too sure, to try the Oner Active SoftMotion collection. Okay, this collection is viral. It is all over the place. They cannot keep it in stock. People are losing their marbles selling these pants for $300 a pair on Poshmark. They cannot keep them in stock no matter how many restocks they do. So I ended up picking up, yes, a pair of the Oner Active SoftMotion straight leg pants because I want to give you guys the tea and really get detailed with it because I had a hard time trying to figure out this sizing. So I'll be getting into the fit, the sizing of these. I am a size medium in Oner Active, like effortless bottoms, so I went with that same size. I am 5'6", so I tend to get everything in a long inseam. I have really long legs for my proportions, and I am in between smalls and mediums, so I wear smalls for the tops, and my waist is a small, but my hips and my thighs are a size medium. So I decided to just go with my bigger size, and that seems to be like a very unpopular opinion right there when it comes to these straight legs. But I want to touch on the fabric of these. I tried this on last night because that's when I picked up my package, and I just was really excited to try them on to get my thoughts together to sit down to film this review. Mind you, I placed two separate orders because they did a restock that same, I think, week that I picked this order out, and I ended up ordering the pastel yellow straight leg joggers and the coal straight leg joggers in a size small long, but that's coming on Monday. I can't wait till Monday to film this video. To be honest, I don't know how these pants went viral. I'm just going to send that package back. I'm not even going to open it. I'm going to stick my return label on it and be on my merry way because I don't think that these pants are worth $70, especially with tax. So they're overpriced for what it is to me. This is an honest, unsponsored review. All of my reviews, no matter if I collab with someone or not, are going to be honest. I have a very different opinion, if you will, versus all the other reviews that I have seen on this collection, specifically in the straight leg pants. So first, let me just start out this vlog by saying how I feel about Oner Active. I feel like there's too many drops and not enough keeping things in stock. So it is a lot of scarcity buying. I fell for it with those straight legs. I'm like, oh, let me go buy 2 more pairs without even trying the pants out to begin with because I know that they're going to sell out instantly if I don't buy them right now. So I don't like that shopping mindset for me because it's not healthy spending habits. I don't like the FOMO marketing. I understand that these pants are viral and everybody wants a pair, so much so that people buy them for the pure fact to resell them. They'll sell them for double, triple the price, and they're already expensive for what they are. So I just don't feel like, for me, it is really worth the $70 price tag for the material. So the fabric makeup of the SoftMotion is 81% polyamide and 19% elastane. Very stretchy and think kind of scratchy. Nobody mentioned that these have an odd texture to them. Fabric and hand feel was the first thing that I noticed when I got my pants. Here's my order. I will say thank you, Oner, for getting rid of putting the invoices on the outside of the packaging. They are now inside the packaging, as most companies tend to do. I always felt a little bit weird knowing that people knew what was in my package. So I'm happy that they've done that, and it seems like they've got a more durable package so that none of these are arriving busted up and torn up when they get to the Tennessee location, which seems to be a big problem that people are having with customer service. So those little tweaks are nice to see. And then this is the packaging that they've always, you know, had for their products. This is not my favorite item in this order. I do love some SoftMotion pieces that I got, but I don't think these are going to be a top pick for me, and I'm kind of upset that I have 2 more pairs on the way. As I mentioned, the material makeup of these is a blend of polyamide and elastane. Okay, this is a size medium long inseam. So they do look quite big on camera, and they have quite a bit of stretch. So this waistband is very different than everyone's favorite, which is effortless. It's not a ribbed, snatching, compressive waistband. However, I do feel held in this material. It's simply just double layered. So you do get extra support here, and I do like that the seam on the front of the waist is slightly curved, so it does hit my stomach in a way where I feel comfortable and it's flattering. So as I mentioned, the material has this odd texture to it that honestly drives me nuts. I have sensory issues when it comes to microfiber towels, and I don't know if you guys know what I mean by that, but I grabbed this out of my laundry room. Ew, just like touching it, because I have dry skin. I have eczema prone skin. I have calluses from the gym. I have hangnails. You know, even running over your fingerprints, you can just feel this weird snagging roughness when it comes to microfiber. Can you hear that? There's this weird snagging feeling with microfiber. So I want you to think about a microfiber towel, not the fluffy kind, but one that's like this, that's thin. Think of a thin, stretchy version of a microfiber towel. That is what these SoftMotion pants are to me because of the texture. I wouldn't even say that it's brushed fabric. I would just say that it's like a microfiber material. So let me run my fingers over this. It's a very thinned out version of a microfiber towel feeling. That's just the hand feel, the first impression, initial reaction that I had when I opened this up. And because I always have just like dry skin and just like, I don't know, it's just this roughness that I feel, and nobody mentioned that in their reviews. I personally was thinking that this was gonna feel like a Buff Bunny micro legacy fabric when I heard about SoftMotion. Everyone says it's soft, it's smooth, it's buttery, it's thin. My initial thought was, oh, it's gonna be like micro legacy, where it's thinner, slightly brushed, it's very stretchy, you know, it's thin, kind of see-through, and soft. These are buttery soft, they are thin, they are stretchy, all of that. But these two together, I will put a picture so you could see what buttery soft looks like and what rough looks like, what microfiber reminiscence looks like. Because you can see the texture just by looking at this fabric. So I was interested to Google what is microfiber towel like actually made of. Microfiber is made of extremely fine synthetic fibers composed primarily of polyester and polyamide, in quotations, nylon. So these SoftMotion pants are majority polyamide. So that makes sense as to why they kind of feel similar to me. Maybe this is a new batch, maybe, I don't know. I don't know why this just feels like a microfiber towel. I have just never heard anyone mention that before. So microfiber disadvantages: attracts lint and pet hair. I would definitely say that this SoftMotion material will cling to lint and your dog's dander. My dog doesn't really shed, but if you have a dog or a cat that sheds, prepare to have a lint roller, especially on black and darker colors. It also says that it is static, like it attracts static. I could definitely see that because of the way that it feels. And It's also prone to staining and fading. With this material, I can definitely see how it will pick up stains quite easily because of the texture of this. It also doesn't feel very breathable or sweat wicking. It almost has like this fluffy, weird feel, like spongy feel to it. So I don't think this is very breathable. And just like microfiber, it's limited breathability. It also says microfiber lacks luxury. And that was what got me, because I was like, $70? I paid $70 for this? This fabric does not feel luxurious to me. The Buff Bunny Legacy material, this was actually the Catherine collection, the Micro Legacy, so it's a little bit thinner than the traditional Legacy material. It still feels buttery, even though it's thinner, right? It feels luxurious. It feels soft and smooth and like a second skin. This does not feel luxurious to me. And I have to keep reiterating that because I know everybody loves these. They have a chokehold on so many people. Fortunately for me and my bank account, I am safe. So they don't feel luxury to me, and they don't feel like a material that I would work out in the gym because of how delicate they are. I could definitely see this snagging and just being torn up the second that I sit on the turf to stretch. You know, like this is going to be something that is going to be high maintenance. You're going to have to really baby it when you are in the gym space. And I could see this snagging on stuff really easily. I could see this snagging on, I don't know, if you rip your nail, oh, forget it. If you touch this and it makes contact, or if you're sitting to do hip thrusts with the bar and that rough bit on the bar, if it makes contact with these, oh, forget it. It's going to be shredded. Same thing with Velcro. If it happens to hit your barbell pad, forget it, like most materials. So I definitely feel like if you are someone that is more carefree with your activewear in the gym and you don't want to have to be limited to certain workout styles or exercises and movements, this is probably not going to be a material that you're going to want to reach for. If you're on a budget, this is probably not going to be the collection that you're going to want to reach for. And if you have sensory issues with microfiber, this is probably not going to be a material that you're going to want to reach for. They also say on the Oner Active website, again, I just read to you guys, microfiber is high maintenance, and it kind of corresponds with what Oner Active's website says for their washing directions. It says that you need to turn these inside out before you wash them and wash with like colors at 70 degrees Celsius. Don't use fabric softener, don't tumble dry, and if you dry them, don't put them in direct sunlight. So that already is high maintenance. So definitely keep that in mind with these. So as far as the inseam length, because that was the thing that I was very conflicted on what to do. As someone that's 5'6", mostly leg, I always go for a long inseam. But a lot of people said that even regular was too long. And usually for me, it could never be too long, you know? Like the longer the better. I do not like high waters. I don't like it to float when I'm sitting down and then it really hikes up and your whole leg is exposed, or when you're wearing thicker shoes, you still want it to be flattering and not become high waters. So I could not find for the life of me the inseam lengths. Even the model, whatever size they were wearing, it'd be like model is wearing size small, she's 5'5". No mention of the length that she was wearing, no mention in the description on the inseam measurement. So I feel like they could definitely improve on that and actually put that for all of their range. Unless it's like a short, it might be SoftMotion 6-inch shorts. Okay, you know, the inseam. But do the same thing for these two. So I had to watch a bunch of reviews before I was able to find the actual measurements. So I'll put that on the screen here in case you're watching this and you want to know what size will be best suited for you. I got the long, so it's measured at 37 inches. The regular says it's measured at 34 inches, and then short is said to be 32 inches. So go off of that as you wish. And I feel like when I measure my leg, it's 33. And a lot of people said that these ride up naturally in the crotch, and they did. Like when I put them on, it really did emphasize the crotch. It does have camel, so be mindful of that. I would recommend wearing a thin panty liner to avoid that, and that was how I was able to not have that issue, but it still rode up in the V area. So that definitely did account for the length that I was having, and they do still drag on the floor in the long inseam on me. So what I want to do is try these on with no shoes, and then also try them on in this video with different styles of shoes that have different heights to them, if you will, like an UGG platform. 90s, 60s are very popular, so I'll throw that in here, and I'll also try them on with a more flat shoe like a Birkenstock, so you can kind of see where the inseam hits when you actually wear them with a shoe. I initially was like, okay, I'll get the glaucous blue, which is the color I have here, for lounge. And I know that's kind of silly. $70 for lounge pant is kind of crazy. It is. So when I'm wearing these at home, I'm not going to have a shoe on to account for that extra length. So technically it's going to be dragging on the floor. So that's one thing to keep in mind, because the seam at the bottom, I feel like this is going to be easily pillable as this material is so delicate. You could see the density of it. It's very thin, right? Very stretchy. And here's a punch through so you can see the sheerness. I didn't have any issues with sheerness with the squat test. So I would say glaucous blue, you're good to go with nude undies underneath. If this is dragging on the floor and you're wearing shoes and you're outside, when it's grazing against the concrete or the cement of the sidewalks, or even just hitting up against your shoe all day long, it could really look dingy and raggedy. And I could also potentially seeing, for the girls like me, stand up if you're here watching, this to pill in the crotch area if your thighs rub together like mine. I don't have a thigh gap, so I often have material rubbing up against each other constantly. I could see that like with this seam rubbing up against the other seam, causing that friction with this delicate fabric. So be mindful of that as well. It's probably going to show a lot of wear and tear with the way that this material is made up. Again, for $68, just keep that in mind if you feel like it's worth it. The reason why I'm just going to send back the other two and not even going to bother opening it is I'm happy with the size medium. I feel like a lot of people say size down in this range because it is so stretchy. While it is so stretchy, I got these again for a lounge. I want it to be comfortable. I don't want the waistband to be cutting in and digging in and just too tight. I wanted it to be a comfortable fit. I wanted it to still flatter the glutes and not squish them in. And I do feel like this size, medium, like sizing up if in between works for me. You could do either or, because I do have a pair of small SoftMotion and it fits really nice and comfortable in the waist. But these are already kind of big in the leg area. So if you're like me, you have bigger thighs, you definitely don't have to worry about it as someone that's in between. If you want it to be more relaxed, go with your bigger size. If you want to feel more snatched, go with your smaller size. And if you are true to size, go true to size. I don't really see a need personally to size down. And I don't think with the inseam, even though it drags on the floor, I'd be happy with a regular, because there's such a big gap in between the two. So 34 inches to 37, there definitely should be something more in between. I don't know. I just feel like there could be another inseam length, you know what I mean? Because these are so long, I think with the riding up, the regular would have been high waters on me. So I'd rather just stick with the long inseam. And again, mine measures at 33-ish inches. So in your head, it'd be like, oh, go with the regular. No, that does not account for wearing a shoe and the fabric bunching in the crotch area as you continue to wear them and walk around. So I did want to kind of highlight that with these pants as far as the fit, sizing, and my personal preference. And I will say on a lot of the girls, I guess I was expecting more. Maybe I just have more developed hamstrings and glutes. I'm not saying than anyone else, but for these pants, I thought they were going to flare out right underneath the butt area and just put an emphasis on how round your glutes were and then just be straight leg from there. But because my hamstrings are so developed, it almost fits tight. Like, I don't know, I wouldn't size up or anything, but it's not as baggy or loose, if you will, as it looks on their website. And I think that goes to show that they should have more inclusivity with the models, different sizes, different proportions, shorter girls, longer leg girls, that type of a thing, so you can get a feel on what it would look like on a similar body type. So because of that, I don't really see these being that flattering on me personally. And that's just why I'm like, oh, I don't really get the hype with these, with the look and then paired with the material and how it feels. Try on the Glaucus in medium long inseam. I really like how this naturally just sits on my waist. Again, I have a shorter torso, so I feel like the length of it definitely comes up at a natural rise for me. I do have some bunching here. Mind you, I just put these on, so I haven't really walked around yet or anything. And they definitely do ride up when you have them on, so you will get that V outline. So definitely consider that. While there's no front seam, there is still a little bit of emphasis on the crotch space. I believe the fold overs, to me, when I see them, they really put an emphasis on the crotch. But for the comfort of the medium, like going with my larger size, I really do prefer the fit of this as a lounge option. I'm not suffocated, I just feel comfortable. There is still a lot of stretch here, and with it being double layered, same fabric here, just double lined, I do feel a little bit of, not compression, but I just feel like it's stuck closer to my skin, if that makes sense. So really good stretch retention. The waistband, again, comes up pretty high. I don't experience any gaping, so maybe if you're someone that wants to squat in these pants for whatever reason, I don't think you would have an issue, even if going with your larger size if in between. There is a nice bit of like separation with the glutes, given that there's no scrunch to these. And again, I didn't like shove the material in between the glutes like you would with an effortless material. I just put them on. So I find that it to be really comfortable. It's not uncomfortable for me with that seam there. And I do feel like it flatters as well and gives some shape. So here's, I couldn't resist, guys. Here are the straight leg pants. So you could see I have like more built quads. I have some good hamstrings on me, and I have some glutes on me. So I was expecting these to kind of flare out into the straight leg, like right underneath the glute space, because that's how it looks on every photo on their website and like their Instagram and stuff. So mine kind of flare out more down here. And I know you can see how much looser the fabric is down here. So it's almost, I'm not going to say it's giving a flare because it's definitely straight. But mid-quad is where I really feel like these go into a straight leg. So depending on your proportions and your build and how muscular you are, how much meat, if you will, you have to fill out this space, I think will determine how flowy these pants tend to look on you. So here's the length again, medium long. As a lounge pant, you can see it's touching the floor, very much so stepping on them. Okay, so I'm not sure that's something personally that I would want to wear because of how long they are, given the price point and how delicate this material is. So that's something that I'm contemplating on maybe making a return. So if you are taller than me and your inseam is longer than 33 inches, this would be a great option for you in the long length. So definitely keep that in mind. However, with a taller platform style shoe, it works for me. It just doesn't work as an in-the-house pant. So these in the Glaucus are squat proof. So if I were to wear them outside, I would feel comfortable doing that because I don't see any sheerness. So I want to just do some squats, move around in these a little bit so you guys can kind of see what I mean by these kind of rolling and riding up in your crotch. And that's why I wouldn't want to wear this to the gym, because I'm not going to want to be doing this all day. So while it kind of rode up on its own and looks more bunchy, that's also what, keep in mind the fold over. Imagine like a fold over and all of this emphasis in your crotch. That's what I want you guys to just be aware of. So here's what they look like with movement. Are these flattering? Like, I don't know. And also with those squats, I did notice that the seam in between definitely kind of went up in there a little bit more. So it naturally will go into the cheeks on its own. So yeah, with those squats, the waistband stayed where it needed to be. I feel like if you wanted to pull it up, I don't know, to get rid of the inseam length, I mean, this looks ridiculous. But if you wanted to wear it for lounge and they're too long, you could, I guess, just pull up the fabric to make it work for you. And also with the inseam, I want to show you what it would look like if it was too short. So when they're floating above your foot, like, this is why I'd rather have it be too long than too short, like if I went with the regular inseam, because this looks hideous, okay? Imagine with this shoe. So if I got the regular length and it hiked up, it would probably end up looking like this, because those are 34 inches. And I've seen them like this on some people, and it does not look good to me with the inseam length. So personally, I would just rather have it be too long than it be the 34-inch inseam of the regulars, because that just would not work with my proportions given the way that this material moves. So that's it on these pants. These seams in the inner thigh will rub together if you're doing your cardio, you're simply walking around the streets, doing your errands, lounging around, laying up with your dog. It's gonna cling on to their fur. And I could definitely see this area getting the most pilling, along with the seam here at the bottom with time. And the other thing I wanted to mention that I'm also not the biggest fan of is their new logoing. So this, while I do appreciate that it is embroidered into the material, that is nice and luxury, I'm not a big fan of how it just spells Oner. I'm used to them being Oner Active, so that is a little bit different to get used to. I do personally prefer their normal logoing without the wording, so I wish it was something a little bit more minimal. Or if they were going to do the Oner spelling, make it tonal so it's not so stark and in your face, especially when you pair it with a matching top where it says Oner and then Oner. I think it's a little bit too much. So personally, I would have loved to have seen a different logoing, something a little bit more toned down to give that luxury feel where you can wear it out and about, style it different ways, and it not just be like, look at my activewear type of a thing. And then the back, there's no scrunch detailing. They do have this seam to separate, and I found that when I put these on, it naturally went into the glute space. So I will say it did flatter in that aspect. It wasn't giving me a unibutt or anything, but I'm not happy with the stitching on these, and I'm contemplating on sending it back because there's like loose threads that look undone on the V area. I don't know if you guys will be able to see that, but the way that it's kind of stitched together isn't giving luxury. It's not giving $70. It's giving unfinished and bad quality control. So I think they could have done a better job checking that. Ugh. And every time I touch this fabric, it's weird. It's messy seams. Like, if you really get close, if you care about those things, you can just see it's kind of messy. So I'm not the biggest fan of that. And I do feel like there's some subtle staining. I'm not sure what that is. and like creases that are like, I don't know if it's dye or what, if it was from the folding and the packaging, but there's like some dyed creases on the pants. So I will mention that. Maybe it'll come out in the wash, but I still have the tag on this because I'm honestly undecided on if I should return. The only thing I love about this is the coloring of it, and yeah, the color. That is so sad. Like, I shouldn't keep something just because I like the color of it. But as you can tell, it's very stretchy in the waist, very stretchy in the body of the pant. Has that four-way stretch, so it's stretchy vertically. So again, with sizing, it just depends on how you want it to fit. I don't know. I spent like $700 on Oner Active in 3 orders because I ordered from the birthday collection. Child, that video will be coming when my stuff arrives. But $70 times 3, that's $210. Yeah, I kind of want my money back for this. I just don't see how it's worth that price tag. If I just saw these and there was no price, I would probably just assume, and I looked at them in person, it wasn't just like an online thing, I would assume these are like $35. I would pay $35, but $70 for these, I just don't see it worth it in my personal opinion. So to go with that, I really liked these 2 pieces together. I think that they should definitely consider dropping them alongside one another. The Mellow Soft tops, even though they definitely don't match. This one's a little bit more dark. This one's a little bit brighter. So they definitely don't look like a complete spot-on match. You can definitely see here. But for lounge, this is the ultimate top to pair with these pants if you are a fan. I felt like this top being so body hugging, like I love the Mellow Soft. It's definitely one of my favorite products aside from the effortless biker shorts that I wear all the time. It gives that BBL look, and I felt like this top paired with the pants made the glutes actually look more flattering than without this top. I don't really feel like I need to say too much. They are very snatching. The snapback is great. The stretch of the material is great. They are delicate, I will say as well, and they are on the thinner side. So, I mean, I think we all know about Mellow Soft here. So I do personally prefer to go with my larger size. I do, like I said, feel like these 2 pieces look great. Like, they really flatter the glutes and give that BBL effect. And I don't know if you guys can tell on camera, but these blues are not a dead identical like color match. This almost has more of a periwinkle versus, and it's like slightly darker versus the SoftMotion bottoms. If you want more of a color match, consider going with the actual SoftMotion fabric for your top choice, if that's something that matters to you. I definitely think it looks more flattering when I have a shirt on versus a bra as far as like the bottoms go. I just wish that these pants started to go straight up here underneath my glute versus down here. I'm not gonna lounge in a SoftMotion jacket or a tight-fitting bra or an open back top situation with the cutouts that they have. While they are cute, it's not what I bought this set for because I knew I wasn't gonna be lifting in it. So I do like the overall look of these pieces together, but I'm not crazy about the fabric on SoftMotion straight leg pants. I will definitely be keeping this top though because I can style it with my joggers and jeans and more casual stuff at home. And I always get SoftMotion in my bigger size medium because it is known to be very sheer. So I find that it helps when I want to wear a bra, not seeing my bra completely through it. But the Glaucous Blue is stunning, it's vibrant, it's beautiful, and I get the long sleeve with the full length, and I have a short torso. So I just like the more full coverage. Is that a stain? Oh my god, there's like a green stain on here. What? Right here. I don't know what that is. Okay, this might be going back too. Dang. And I actually like the logoing on this. See, I hope they don't change it up, but they do a little tag Oner Active logo Are they going by Oner now and just not Active? I'm confused. But yeah, just a little tag placement. So I feel like I can wear this more out and about with jeans, regular outfits, and then it not look like, oh, she's wearing active wear type of a situation. So I don't have much else to say with these tops. I think they're great. Sizing wise, you could go true to size. I personally wouldn't recommend sizing down for the sheerness factor, especially in like the black or even the white is really light and you could see your bra underneath. I am actually really excited to tell you guys that I love this set, okay? I know there was a lot of controversy. You either loved it or you hated it. The SoftMotion capris, okay, I was happy to see them come out with 2 inseam lengths, right? I think there was just short and then long. As a 5'6" long leg girl, you already know I went for the long length. And this time I sized with my smaller size small, simply because these are a body fit style legging. They're not the straight legs that are more wide. And I wanted these specifically for wearing as an outfit, not for the gym space. Maybe I'd wear these for the gym, but given the fact that this material is so delicate, I couldn't imagine myself wanting to do cardio in these with the extra chafing of the thighs, like how the material rubs up against each other. I think this will be better suited for me as if I was traveling, wearing this as a day outfit there, doing groceries, going to a cafe, something very chill. Even lounging in, I think would be nice too. So I'll add the measurements of this long length inseam on the screen for you guys when I do that. What's so confusing to me, which is why I thought maybe I got a bad batch, this feels smoother than the Glaucous Blue straight leg pant. So I don't know if they've updated the fit, maybe it's different manufacturers, maybe I got a bad batch of the Glaucous, but this actually feels more closely resembling my Buff Bunny Micro Legacy. Soft, smooth, buttery, thin, stretchy, doesn't have like that textural look. So I'll add a photo of this next to the Buff Bunny so you guys can see how similar they look versus a photo of Glaucous. Oh, I hate saying that word. I'm sorry. Versus the blue and the black, because to the eye, even though this is darker, I can just see all this weird texture to these blue pants. So let me know your experience if you're somebody that buys straight legs every color, every drop, if you've noticed a difference per batch or whatnot. Because I'm new to this range, I'm not sure what's supposed to be correct, but I will say I loved how the small fit me. I loved how this capri felt, how it looked, and I didn't have any sensory issues with this pair. So it has very similar features, that curved waistband in the front, no front seam. Definitely still got the CT. So again, just wear a thin panty liner with your undies and I think you'll be fine. The back has a higher glute seam with the V, which I felt was really flattering there. And then no scrunch, but a normal seam to separate. I felt like the straight legs were more flattering on the glutes than these. As someone that got my smaller size, size small, I am happy with the fit of these. I wouldn't want the waistband to be loose or baggy. And I think the inseam length is perfect. It falls well past my kneecap, and I feel like if you are a tall girl, you have longer muscles, you know what I mean? Like maybe you struggle to feel thick and curvy like I do. I just feel like because my calves are so skinny in comparison to my quads and my glutes, it just makes me look kind of weird sometimes when I'm wearing full length leggings. So because these are a capri and they cut off like right around my calves, it makes me look and feel thick and curvy, and I really like that about these. So I would buy these again in the espresso colorway that they originally came out in, and the ruby I believe it was as well. So I am holding out and hoping that they do restock. I think these would be nice to still wear where I live. It's 80s and pretty humid, so I have maybe another month or so to wear a capri with flip-flops. But for spring and summer, I can definitely see myself getting on the capri train. I think it would look cute with a matching SoftMotion top, even styled with a cardigan or a button-down top as well for a coffee run or a day out of running errands. So these I really like. Again, these have the Oner logo that is stitched, embroidered in. I wish, again, this was tonal. It would have been so nice if it was tonal, because it is too much with the top that I picked with it. and I personally wanted more full coverage to wear as an actual outfit. And I'm kind of leaning away from just wearing a bra and leggings as my athleisure set. So I'm happy to see that they had multiple top options for you to choose from. More coverage or less coverage. So I got this SoftMotion strappy vest. I got the full length one. I know it does come in a midi as well. And what I liked about it was it came with a built-in shelf bra. So I just got size small because I am a size small in their bras. And I'm happy with the size of this. It really fits perfectly. This I'm keeping as well. There are no adjustable straps on this, but I felt like the strap drop length was perfect for me. This is such a basic silhouette, something I've seen on Amazon, for example. For the price, again, I do think it was like 50 something. Pretty expensive for a basic like this, but again, it does have the bra feature. So let me flip it inside out so you can see what that looks like. It has a shelf bra. It's kind of hard to see because it's black. So it has a little band at the bottom, place for you to remove and insert the cups. It comes with cup pads, so that's nice to see. However, I don't like these cup pads. They are very thin and flimsy. And I don't know if you guys can see, when I tried this on, I know it's black, so it was kind of hard to show you in the vlog, but the pads came creased and like wrinkly. So it looked like I had 4 nips going on, and it just did not look good. And Oner Active is just known to have the best cup pads. You know, they match the garment for whatever you get. They're thick, you can wash them, you can dry them, and they're not gonna get split or flimsy and wrinkly like this. So for the $50+ price point, I'm pretty disappointed with the quality of the cup pads. While I appreciate that it does come with them, some brands will give you a bra without pads. Just go back to the normal pads, because you started with this high standard and we're just expecting that, and when you don't deliver and you have a line like SoftMotion that is more expensive, it is kind of disappointing to see. And I don't know if I would buy more of these tops for that reason. So hopefully they go back to the cup pads that they usually have, because these ones are very flimsy, and I could just see if you put them in the dryer they might split. I don't put any of my activewear in the dryer. I always hang dry, but those are the type of quality pads that would potentially do that. And then for the back of this is already getting lint on it, and it's black, so you can definitely see it just by me holding it and showing you guys. The back is pretty high cut, so if you potentially store more of your body fat in your back, I would potentially consider sizing up. Same thing goes if you have a fuller, bigger bust and you're maybe in between sizes, size up. I don't have much bust going on, so I went, like I said, with my normal bra size, and it's body fitting. There's no baggy or excess material in the length of this. And while this is full length, it doesn't look very long. So I'm interested to see how it compares to like the midi. And as someone with a short torso, I was really comfortable with this length here. So for sizing, I just wanted to mention that because you might get some cutting in and digging in if you happen to have more body fat on your lats or your back or anything. I didn't have any lat spillage, which was nice for me to see. It would be nice to have adjustable straps though, because not everyone has the same strap drop, if that makes sense. So that'd be the only thing I would say for sizing if you don't know what to go for. But I do like this piece all in all, but it definitely does have lint. And like I said, if you have a dog, that will easily cling to this fabric. But these two pieces together, super cute. I could see myself styling it with ballet flats in the fall time, some mules in the fall, a cute cardigan to layer, a shrug cardigan would be really cute as well, maybe even like an oversized denim jacket, something like that. So I will be keeping these pieces. Next is the capri outfit. I love this little tank. Aside from the cup pads, because they're crinkly, I can feel that texture on top of like the top itself. So I'm not the biggest fan of that, but I did want to show you, again, it has that built-in like shelf. So there is a band, like think of like a bra band here for the shelf bra. So if you're confused about sizing, go with your bra size. So this one works great for me. Again, it's pretty stretchy. The full length is a good length for me. It doesn't come too low or anything like that. So if I were to get more of these, I would definitely opt for this one. The colors are black, they match perfectly. And here's the strap. So again, no adjustments there. If you are, again, someone that maybe has a longer or fuller bust, I think this might be too short of a drop and could cut in and dig in. I love that this doesn't cut into my armpit, and I'm not experiencing any lat spillage. So for me and my body type and my proportions, this fits perfectly fine for me, given that there are no adjustments on this shoulder drop. I think that'd be the biggest thing that you would have to be concerned with. And of course, just it fitting your chest size, but like I said, just go with your normal bra size. I am getting some pinching here on this side, like the peanut butter look. So I will mention that, but I think that's just because the bra pad, I don't know, chill, it's just not sitting good in there. But the only thing I'm getting is peanut butter on the side with this top. And boom, we have the capri pants. I feel more curvy in this area personally. Again, this is a long option. And for me, like my knee is here. I don't know if you can see because it's black. It cuts in probably like mid. Oh my god, am I ashy? That's embarrassing. It cuts in probably at the top of my calves. So for me, I definitely prefer this long length. Mind you, if you wanted, what you could do is sort of hike it up. If you wanted it to sit right below your knee, this fabric is very stretchy, very forgiving. So I do like the option that I could wear it this way, but personally I prefer when it sits full length. Makes me forget that my calves are so skinny in comparison to my quads and everything else. They really popped off with these capri pants, and I would again love to see, ooh, look, it's clinging onto stuff. Yeah, this is the type of material that can really get pilly, man. You're gonna need a fabric shaver with this one. I don't know what this is, but it's giving it was stained. I don't know. I hope you can hear that fabric. And that's because I have calluses. I mean, I'm in the gym. What do you expect? It kind of clings to if you have dry skin. So be mindful of that. Again, the pet hair, the lint, the shedding, dust. If you have a dusty house, you know, you have to be aware. Maybe have a lint brush with you, because just from holding these items up and showing you guys in the vlog, I'm getting some lint that's clinging to this fabric really easily. But as you can tell, this is the size small, and there's no scrunch, just a seam in the back. Not as flattering on the glutes. They are stretchy. They are stretchy, so they're very forgiving. Just depends on how you want your stuff to fit with these. Good stretch retention. If you wanted to go to the gym for whatever reason in these pants, do some squats, I don't feel like you're gonna have to really worry about the waistband slipping and sliding. And I don't really get that riding up in the crotch like I did with the straight legs on these. I know, again, it's hard to see, but I think that's just because that has so much more extra fabric that naturally that's just what they're gonna do. As far as the glaucus goes, I don't know. This is stained and I'm not happy about that, and I don't want to wash it and hope that it comes out and then it doesn't. So I'm like on the fence about returning that. Maybe I'll put some OxyClean on it. And I'm on the fence about these because I've heard that they pill. So I'm gonna wear these around the house for about an hour, see how comfortable I feel with the inseam length, you know, and it dragging on the floor even with my slippers. And if I feel like I would actually wear them, because if I'm not, $70 can go back in my bank account. But that's my honest, raw, unsponsored review. I know it's a very different opinion than everyone else that you've probably seen, because they are so loved and they're so viral and they're barely stocked on this site. They're just not for me, and that's okay. Not everything is meant for everybody and their preferences and their body type and proportions. I don't see myself ordering any more of these. One and done type of a situation personally. And if I'm gonna lounge in something, I'd rather lounge in sweats. I think that's just my vibe. More carefree with it, more comfortable, don't have to baby it, and worry about it pilling. So let me know what you guys think about SoftMotion, although I'm sure you guys are gonna be obsessed, and that's fine too. More stock for you guys to buy. Oh, also I didn't mention on the waistband, I'm so all over the place. I'm about to lose my voice. I do like this. The waist did not slip and slide for me, even in my bigger size, and I think it's because they have these two seams that add the structure to this thinner waistband that keep it kind of up. So I do like that, and this is not like an updated version where I think they added to the regular leggings that elastic bit around the waistline. I don't think they did that update to these straight leg joggers, and they did not do that to the capris either. So yeah, this did not slip and slide, and I felt like both of these actually, I don't have a long torso, how many times can I say that? I don't feel like these are ultra high rise. I feel like they actually came at my natural waistline and didn't come up too high past my natural waist where it naturally wanted to roll over on itself, because I hate how that looks. It looks bulky and just ill-fitting. So I will say the rise on these, 10 out of a 10, definitely. So it does have its pros, it does have its cons. You just have to figure out if it's worth it for you and what your personal preferences are. So on that note, I'm definitely gonna head out, guys. My next Oner Active video will be the pickups that I ordered from their birthday collection, Accentuate. Still have a ton of stock on the website if you're interested to check it out, but I will dive deep into a more detailed review when my package comes. I haven't gotten an update on it just yet, so hopefully it'll arrive within the next week or so. And as far as shipping time, this order came in like 6 days, which is not bad considering it comes from overseas and it passed the customs really quickly. So, and I live on the East Coast in DC, so do with that what you will. The shipping was really good, 10 out of a 10. I'm interested to see how their return process goes though. So let me know what you guys think about this, and if I should keep the straight legs or if I should send them back. I don't know. Comment below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!